get that out of the way. So, hello guys, it is me, Matthew. I don't really have to introduce myself. If you clicked on this video, you know who I am already, so it'd be redundant to do an intro, but I'm going to continue to talk about these losers, Aaron, Arya, Brett, Mangina, Weider, and talk about how they're all shills. So what inspired me to make this video was really, see the state of Jefferson flag in the background? Hell yeah, Southern Oregon represent. Getting off topic, but what inspired me to make this video was two things. I want to come up, show my face, and prove to you guys that I'm a real, living, breathing man. And not only am I a living, breathing man, but I'm skinny. I have a full head of hair, broad shoulders, unlike Arya, full head of hair, unlike Arya and Aaron. Healthy teeth, unlike Brett, and skinny, unlike Matt and Aaron. So yeah, I'm the healthiest, most athletic, youngest person you'll find. Well, besides King David, of course. He's probably younger than I am. I think he is he older? I don't know. But other than him, I'm the youngest, most healthiest person you'll find in this sector of YouTube, of the internet in general. So yeah, you might want to listen to a thing or two about what I have to say about these old heads who, one of which groomed me when I was a minor. So Arya, Davood, Khanalizadeh, look him up. His arrest, mugshots. He is clearly unhealthy. He is clearly a drug addict, and there's footage of him talking about crocodile, which is a drug that he loves. So he's clearly a hardcore drug addict, addicted to crocodile, weed, meth, cigarettes, etc. And he's clearly a mentally incapacitated and mentally unstable individual. He likes to claim that I'm every child molester, yet I look nothing like Jeffrey Epstein. And I thought I would let him delude himself into thinking that instead of correcting him, because if you know anything about Arya, I've been studying this man's behavior since I was 10. And this man will not and does not accept any correction whatsoever. He is a grade A narcissist. He loves bomb people before he cuts them off and starts to harass, slander, and try to hurt other people. And I'm not saying he's completely wrong about a lot of what he's saying, because a lot of what Arya is saying is true. Or at least in my opinion, because he is good at recognizing faces and facial expressions and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give him credit where credit is due. But we need to be aware of who this man is. This man groomed me when I was 13. I started watching his content when I was 10, but at 13, he started talking to me and started love bombing me and going, "Guitar man, you're the best," and all this, all this sort of stuff that he was saying about me. I mean, he was saying, "Guitar man is my best fan," and, "Guitar man this, Guitar man that." I went by the name Guitar Man at the time, so yeah. But, he lives in his parents' basement. He harasses people. He only gets joy out of smoking weed and going to the goth club that he goes to in Tampa. He's clearly not a mentally stable individual. He's clearly mentally ill and a predator. He brings people into his cult of personality and then tries to demoralize them by saying that they're every child molester, by saying that they're Jeepers Creepers and Hannibal Lecter and all these sorts of things. And I obviously look nothing like any of those people. So he is another agent. He is another shill. And he is someone that you cannot trust. So Yeah, let's go over Aaron Haywood. So, Aaron Haywood is obviously fat, out of shape, bald, and eats KFC every day, which is really not good for you. I highly recommend you do not eat fast food. Clearly a narcissist and projects his insecurities onto people. He can't, he's scared of me. What can I say? So, how I know Aaron Haywood is scared of me is because, is because, he uploaded the video of Matthew admits he likes femboys. Like, yeah, I do like femboys. Who gives a shit? It's not some big gotcha. It's not some big secret I've been hiding. Oh my god, I'm scared people might find out I like femboys. Like, no. I like femboys. There. I called him out on it. I told him, dude, you got nothing on me. It's not a big secret. It's not anything I'm ashamed of. And he called me a weirdo for that. But what I think is weird is that he's been obsessing over losers like Mangina, Weider for so many years, and Brett. So I think, if anything, Aaron Haywood is the weirdo. And he had the nerve and gall to call me a stalker when he has links to all his social media and all his YouTube channels and all these sorts of different things that he's very expressive and open about, that he has the nerve and gall to call me a stalker when I really don't look at his page that often. I mainly look at his YouTube channel for some insightful content on the Nephies or these reptilian creatures, but half of the time it's slander, half of the time it's legit. So, I don't take Haywood super seriously. Like I said, him and Khanalizadeh put out a lot of great content, but at the same time, take it with a grain of salt, because they are shills, they are weirdos, and not much else needs to be said. So let's go on to Mangina Weider. So Mangina Weider, Matthew David Weider, tried to get me to come on to his expedition to Antarctica. And he, had a whole crew with him. Adam, if you're watching this, you're cool. I know you were a troll. You were awesome, man. It was awesome seeing you on call. Just, hearing Matt and, what's his name? The British dude who was like, Matthew told me, Matt had a British dude on his team. Angelo, that's his name. Angelo was another person, a part of Matt's team, who was like, Matthew Thomas, we keep it very well with you. Everything's fucked. Aliens are gonna come get us. And, people are evil and we're all gonna die. And, all this bullshit, nihilistic bullshit. And Matt Weider obviously thinks that everyone who isn't him is a node in this non-existent pizza trafficking network in this weird New World Order thing he thinks exists, which, there is a New World Order, but it's certainly not everybody on the fucking face of the planet who's against poor old Matthew David Weider. And he'll make these videos about people having micro variations in the skin and having all these facial abnormalities and all of these weird ass non-arguments that he makes about people. Like, it's schizophrenic, and he's clearly mentally ill, and he clearly needs to be locked up in a mental institution, as does Arya. So Arya is clearly mentally ill. He is clearly a predator. Not a sexual predator, but, he could be. But he projects his insecurities onto other people. He's called he has claimed that someone by the name of Ash, who he claims is Odysseus and Jim Morrison, he's claimed that person to be a PDF file, as he has me baselessly and Ash baselessly. And this dude obviously has a hard time with women, you know, with Phoenix in particular, but I don't need to go into that. That's their own private. That's Jessica's private information that I don't want to spout out if she is not okay with me spouting that out. So, yeah, that sums it up with Arya, Mangina, and Aaron. And let's go on to Brett. I forgot to bring up Brett. So Brett is a lolcow. He is a stalker of Mangina Weider. He's obsessed with Mangina Weider. Every post is, Matthew David Weider is a clone reptoid reptilian nephew. Insectoid. You know, he's constantly making these weird-ass, lame-ass music videos and smoking out in the forest, and it's just embarrassing. So, yeah, so Spirit Walker, aka Brett, punches his son and abuses his son, and there's footage that he claims is CGI, and I shouldn't be laughing, but the main crux of this video is that I think all of these people, Aaron Haywood, Matthew David Weider, Arya Davood, Khanalizadeh, and Brett Jeremy Lohvin are all the same entity. They control the underground. They control the other underground of this sector of YouTube. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So they're all in a kayfabe beef with one another. And it obviously wouldn't appear obvious at first glance that, you know, Mangina, Arya, Aaron, and Brett are all the same entity, but they are clearly if you really look at their faces and how they act and how they carry themselves, especially Arya and Brett. It's more than damnably obvious that they are the same entity. There's obviously truth to what Arya and Aaron say, and there's obviously a kernel of truth to what Matt says, but, you know, Matt takes it to a whole nother level. There's, you know, we do live in a Truman Show. Us real humans live in a Truman Show, but not everyone's a pedophile in the, you know, pizza gang stalking network. That's clearly false, but, you know, it's clearly not directed at these nephews, and Matt wants to make real humans look fucking retarded and schizophrenic and paranoid, when in reality that real humans aren't claiming to be gang stalked and aren't claiming that, you know, their entire family's satanic and everyone they know is satanic. No. Well, you know, that may be the case, but we're not constantly bitching about it because it's been our entire lives and we deal with it like men. And masculine men aren't looking for pity like Matthew David Weider. That man is a pathetic loser. And I know he's gonna pick apart micro variations in my skin. Sorry, but yeah. All these people are, I have to make a part 2 to this video because, you know I like to joke, I know I like to make fun of people. Pathetic losers like Arya or Brett or Matt or Aaron. Take your pick, any one of them. So this is just all I have to say for now. I'm going to make a part 2 and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So yeah, that's about it. That's the video. Take care.